Adam here with Brooksaw Antiques. Today we have this 1937 Corona Standard Vintage Portable Typewriter. I'm going to show you how to use the functions and make sure they all work. Often referred to as the flat top Corona Standard. There's another Corona Standard that has a curvier top, and that one would be referred to as a curvy. Margins are located behind the carriage here, and you just push the button and move them like this. I'm going to set this one right in between, right as close as I can get to that paper finger, and that one's already set. You can test those to make sure you don't get stuck on those two paper fingers. And I like to set those on the edges of the page so we have maximum clearance here. There we go. Let's test those out. Looks pretty good. I'm going to set this one a little bit further on the edge. There we go. This should work. Once you hear the bell, you're at the end of the margin. Hit this line space, get you back to the beginning, and skips 1 or 2 spaces. Right now we have it on single, but if you want double, you just flip that switch forward. It skips 2. We're going to keep that on single for now and finish typing. As you can see, all the keys type nice and none of them skip or stick. I'll type a sentence on the next line. Beautiful typing machine. Very nice condition. Print looks perfect and very easy to type on, very reliable machine. It feels like a classic. It is a classic. This is about as classic as you get when you think about a typewriter right there. It's beautiful. Up top is the paper release. You flip that forward and it unlocks the rollers underneath the paper, allowing you to pull the page out easier, load thicker paper like carbon copy or cardstock. Make sure you flip that back before you load the next page or else it won't load correctly. The shift on each side and a shift lock on the left. To clear that, just hit the shift button again. Backspace on the right side of the keyboard works great. Below that is the margin release. When you get to the end of the margin, there's a mechanism that blocks you from printing. Hit that margin release on the right side there. It will allow you to get all the way to the end or until you get stuck on that paper finger there. Here's your color selector. We got a solid black ribbon though, but if you have a black and red, the red would be on bottom, and you just flip this switch up and the vibrator goes up higher, so you print the bottom portion of the ribbon. When you have it in the middle, it doesn't print any ink at all. As you can see, the vibrator doesn't go up. That's for copying purposes. It just leaves a stencil without any ink on it. And when you have it on the bottom, it prints the top portion of the ribbon, which would be black if you had a black and red. And you can double use the ribbon with black and red if you have a solid and just use both sides. The spool cover pops up from the front like that. All the brand new ribbons loaded on the left side, so it's pulling to the right clockwise. If you want to switch that direction, there's a switch where my thumb is right now. Flip that up, and it'll pull counterclockwise to the left. Flip it down, and it pulls clockwise to the right, and that's the direction we want it to go. Touch controls on the inside here. The higher you go, the more tension there is when you hit the keys. You do have to hit them harder for them to print, but they respond faster. And the lower you go, the less tension there is. You just want to mess with that to see what you prefer. On the right side, behind the knob, is the carriage release. Very smooth and tight. And the lock is right here, so you just lift this up, or lift it back like that. You can't see what I'm doing here. Where my thumb is, if you lift it down, it releases the carriage and it locks it in the middle. So when you have it in the case, it doesn't bang around. As you can see, the carriage release freely moves to the right without any carriage release. So that would just lock that right next to the edge of the case. On the left side behind the knob is the left carriage release, very smooth. This is a very nice condition typewriter for its age. If you pull out the knob, it disables the spacing so you can get to an exact spot on the page. You push it in, you get the clicks. Each one of those clicks is one space. And that's it. Now available on eBay or Etsy. Search Brooksaw Antiques.